Hi everybody, it's Nisa here. I wanted to start today a little series on low back and hip function and how to maintain your hip function so that your low back doesn't start to give out on you. We do a lot of sitting in society now, yeah? And sitting, you've probably heard that expression, sitting is the new smoking. It can really wreak havoc on your back. And your body. Your glutes, your hip flexors, your abs tend to get pretty weak when you're sitting down and doing a lot of sitting. So anytime I have done a lot of sitting, if I have a day of work where I actually have to sit down, like judging a dance competition, I tend to stand up at the end and make sure that I reactivate my glutes a little bit. So I'm going to show you a really nice exercise today for getting a little bit of glute med working again. It's a super important muscle for keeping the support for your low back. If your glutes are working properly, they're going to help to maintain your hip function and your lower back strength so that you don't end up with a herniated disc down the road. Maintenance. Okay, so I'm going to do mine up on this giant table here because I can't figure out how to get the video screen to look at the floor and my face at the same time. Whatever. One day I'll have a videographer. So I'm going up here. Feel free to try this on the floor at your house. So all you need is a TheraBand. A green band I'm using, you can use a blue one, you can use a yellow one or a red one, it doesn't really matter. Green is about a medium strength. So you're gonna stand on it with your feet about 4 inches apart. Once you've done that, you're gonna cross the band in front of you. So you're like that, yeah? And you're just holding about halfway down the band where your arms are fairly straight and there's a nice tautness to the band. Your weight is centered in your foot. And we're going to try and stack your hips and your ribs on top of that centered place in your feet. Hello? Okay, so once you're there, all we're going to do is just walk to the side. So this just goes like this. Side steps out and in. And we're just doing a little side step, pressing into that band with your foot, and then resisting with the other way. Let's go the other foot in. So we press away, and then we resist back in. Super great for the sides of your hips, which is your glute med working. Yeah? So this is what I want to avoid seeing, is those hips kind of doing like a sway front and back. Try to keep your hips fairly centered as you do this little bit of work. And you're going to start to feel like getting a little bit tired in your hips. The other thing I just want you to check for is that you're not feeling it in the front of your hips. Right, your TFL, you really want to feel it around the back in your glutes. If you're starting to feel it in the front of your hips, do a very little bit of turnout. So spin your thigh bones away from each other a little bit. So your kneecaps are facing away from each other a little bit. And try the same thing there. And that should get right to that middle of the hip socket, right to that glute med spot. Yes? So, super easy, great way to maintain those glutes so that you keep them nice and strong and keep your back strong and healthy. Okay? Thank you. 10 to the right, 10 to the left. Do it twice. Let me know how it goes. If you have any questions, I'm going to try and do some more low back ideas and ways that we can maintain things. But feel free to give me suggestions and questions. I like them a lot. Thank you.